Hey guys, welcome to the Jellyfish Manifesto. I'm here with my co-host Dylan, and we have a guest today. His name is Layne. Yes, his name is Layne. I don't know why I second guessed that. He is a mechanic, and he is just an all-around creator and builder, and we're super excited to have him on here.
I have a jellyfish fact. So the jellyfish fact for today is that jellyfish are 95% water. In comparison, humans are 60% water. So they are a lot more water than we are.
What's
That's
the point of a
fact.
jellyfish having water in them, though? They're just
It helps them
cells.
float more, I think. It makes them more buoyant and it makes them float better in the ocean.
That's crazy.
Okay.
So I'm gonna drink a lot of water, that way I float better.
Yeah, that could work.
So before your boat sinks, you know what I'm saying?
I'm fat and I don't float that well, so
I mean, it's just how you use your weight, buddy. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that whole thing. It's not always how much you got; it's how you use it, kind of deal. It's just you know what I'm saying. Spread yourself out a little bit. You know what I'm
There's
saying?
that Eddie Hall guy. He's a big guy. Have you seen him swim?
no.
He's just like attacking the water. He swims really fast.
Well, because to be honest with you, they always say muscle sinks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to be honest with you, like people that are like rescue swimmers and stuff like that, if you ever like see a lot of them, I mean, they're like strong in a way, like to be honest with you, like there's a couple types of people that go to the gym. Okay. You got people that just want to get big and they're like, you know, people that are just like do it for the gram kind of deal. And then you got people that are utilitarianly like strong. And it's like a lot of people that are like Navy SEALs and stuff like that. Like they look like me or you, but they could, you know, lift a car off somebody if they needed to, kind of deal. Like it's just the way it is. And like Eddie Hall guy, he's just big. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's already a big statured guy, and then he just worked out. And so like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so like a lot of those rescue swimmer guys and people that do that, like they're pretty
They're like
skinny.
skinny strong.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I kind of got that crackhead strength a little bit, but yeah. So
So the first question would be, you're a mechanic and you also like to build things.
yeah.
What is one direct way that you would relate to that to be a creative?
So to be honest with you, we kind of talked a little bit before, but to be honest with you, I think the automotive industry is probably one of the most creative things in life, honestly, I guess, because even on the like OEM side, basically like your regular car manufacturers, I mean, you literally have people that are designing the car. You have engineers, and then you have people that make the car look cool or cute or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, just that right there is a very creative thing. I like to make cars cooler than they come from the factory, personally. That's kind of more you know, my bread and butter is kind of just fixing people's stuff, you know what I'm saying, and getting them on the road, because that's more important than looking cool, you know, for a lot of people. But for me, I really enjoy the whole, like making it your own, you know what I'm saying? It's just like this podcast. I mean, you guys have made it your own, you know what I'm saying? Because there's people that they like different microphones, they like different cameras. I like different wheels and different exhausts and everything like that. So, I mean, that's kind of part of my life. I've always just been a tinkerer, if people like to call it that. I literally work on almost anything, you know, little four-wheelers to cars to, you know, I'll work on your barn if you need it, you know, kind of done. You know, like, it's just, I mean, it's a lot of, I think a lot of, like, creativity is honestly just using your brain. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you do have to, even just trying to fix something. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you got to get creative because it's 12 o'clock at night and there's no store open, and I got this bolt, some chicken wire, and a zip tie, and you got to make it work just to get you to the next morning or whatever it is. You know, and so that's honestly, like, I don't know. My brain never stops, to be honest with you, because to be honest with you, I get some weird stuff every once in a while that just I got to fix or work on. So
What's probably the weirdest project you've had to work on?
See, that's a bad question for me, because to be honest with you, usually when I'm done with something, I kind of forget. Weirdest project. Okay, take it here. So this wasn't weird in a bad way. This was weird in a good way. So me and a older buddy of mine, we got this crazy idea. He got a Jeep, like a Wrangler, like the little ones that all the girls think of, like a little Barbie Jeep type style, And the engine was going out on it, and it was like making all this crazy noise and everything like that. And he was like, I want to do something kind of cool with it, And so I kept telling him, it's like, dude, let's put a diesel engine in it, like something out of a truck, and I threw out all these ideas to him of like, see, here's some ones that would be kind of cool. He's big on doing the whole marketplace wheeling and dealing. So he ended up coming with I think it was like a 99 Dodge Ram with a Cummins in it. And we ended up swapping a big old full-size truck diesel and transmission and everything into a little tiny Jeep. And we ended up taking it down to Florida. That was probably one. And then also my personal truck that the same guy and another buddy of mine, they actually helped build a lot around the time that my mom passed, because I ended up having to kind of step away, and they got it done to where she got to see it before she got to pass. That was another one where we took like a 2001 chassis and everything like that, the Dodge Ram, Cummins, four-wheel drive, everything like that, and then I took an older truck body because I like old stuff. I'm really into like retro kind of old school classic stuff. So it's got like a 1990 body on it. It looks like a big rig kind of deal. It's got like big stacks on it and everything like that. Unfortunately, a couple years ago, got hit by a drunk driver. So I still have it at my house, and I just haven't fixed it yet because I fix everything else. But so yeah, I mean, those are two that have like probably my craziest things I've at least helped on and worked on, and like that right there is a lot of creativity, to be honest with you, because trying to shoehorn an engine that is like the engine, transmission, and transfer case in that Jeep is like 2/3 of the length of the Jeep. Like the drive shaft was like this long on it, what I'm saying, in the rear. And it was just crazy. We had a lot of fun with that. I mean, the thing, you would stomp on it, and it's like, it wasn't really like any crazy high horsepower engine in it. It was kind of just the stock stuff with like a little tune on it. And like, it would just make the whole thing just like shoot this way or shoot that way, just because it's so short and you had a lot of torque, and we ended up taking it down to Florida. They have a big Jeep event down in Florida, like at Daytona. And we took it down there, and a lot of people thought that was really cool. Like, because the Cummins, they actually have a 4-cylinder version, which is a little bit easier to fit in something that small. That's usually what everybody does, but we ended up those are harder to come by because they were more of like an equipment and like milk trucks and stuff like that. So we're like, well, we can get a regular Dodge truck pretty easy, and that's how we came about doing that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. He sold that Jeep, and he made some decent money on it. Like some guy just fell in love with it, and I think he still drives it. I think it actually went down to Florida again. So I think the guy that owns it now lives in Florida, so it went back down there. So yeah, and little side piece on that. So like when we were down in Florida, we were rushing to get this whole thing done, to get it down there, because he had the idea. We kind of were getting parts and pieces, and then he found out about that whole show and everything down there, and he was like, oh, we need to go to this, So then it was like, okay, well, we were like, everything was still in pieces. So when we got down, we didn't get to test a lot of things. Like, we didn't really drive it very far. Like, honestly, like our longer test drives of that that Jeep was down there. Like, we were driving like an hour from where we were staying to like the beach and stuff like that. And on Daytona, you can drive on a part of the beach. So we got out there, and the first time we go out there, we didn't realize it, but our four-wheel drive didn't work. It was hooked up and everything like that. So we literally got buried in the sand, like, because it was just the way it was. So we had somebody pull us out. And this is where kind of like some of that little bit of like ingenuity has to come in play, is that what it was, I think, if I remember correctly, there was something with vacuum lines, because four-wheel drive worked off a vacuum on that thing. And so there was a little like hack that you could kind of do where you can get it to where it doesn't really use vacuum anymore, where it's like the front axle always just stays locked in, to where when you put the transfer case in four-wheel drive, your axle will just be locked in at that point. So we ended up doing that on the fly. Like, I'm trying to remember. No, we did it in the driveway of his wife's parents' house that we did. And yeah, I mean, that was like one morning we were just like, we like literally woke up before everybody, and we were just doing it because we were like, man, we ain't going to go out there and get stuck again, That was kind of embarrassing a little bit. So, but yeah, I mean, that's a lot of like stuff right there. I mean, to be honest with you, it's working on stuff is nothing but just trying to, you have a problem and you're finding a solution, and that takes a lot of, just ingenuity in that. So.
Yeah. I wish I was better at figuring something out with my car. I'm one of those just YouTube guys.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm that way too sometimes because like no one will ever like have worked on everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something else that kind of comes into this space is honestly the YouTube side of stuff. I mean, those people literally are just entertaining, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people, honestly, too, they're almost like a textbook, you know what I'm saying? Like, because there's some guys that own like repair shops that they make videos on the repairs. So like you can kind of go, and see like, oh, this guy has a Chrysler Town and Country with this problem and this is what he did. And that kind of like leads you into the figuring it out part of, where you need to be. Cause it's, sometimes it's just helpful, like the hardest part about working on cars is diagnosing. I mean, anybody, in my opinion, anybody can take parts off and put them on. It's just nuts and bolts. You know what I'm saying? Being able to problem solve is a whole nother thing in life. Because like sometimes it's not always about like being able to take a part off and taking a part on or, putting a part on. It's literally like my car is doing this or my whatever it may be, or like here's, I have a problem at my house, because like I've done housework. I do housework too. It's one of those situations where it's like, here's the problem, finding a solution for it. And sometimes it's not only, it's like either having to find a quick solution or a long-term solution or just something that's cost effective. You know what I'm saying? And that's where some of that stuff comes into play a little bit it's really just big problem solving, because for me, like if you can't do that, then you're just going to hit a roadblock all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to, I don't know, find a crack in the road and you're never going to drive past it. And I'm not always the best at it, depending on what it is. Like, because everybody has a knowledge base, that they can kind of work within. And it's like hitting roadblocks in your knowledge base is kind of one thing, but hitting roadblocks in somewhere that you're like, I have no clue, I've never messed with it. I don't know, that's a whole nother thing. But some people are really good all around at just being like problem solvers. You know what I'm saying? Like, your wife goes out there, sits in a chair and it's wobbly, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh yeah, I'll get that fixed. I'll just put a little, little chair slider underneath the one leg or something,
Right.
and it's like, okay, cool. And then you got some people that are like, well, I guess we'll go get a new table. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's stuff like that, it's, I don't know. It's, I don't know. Like I said, I think the automotive field in general just has such a wide variety of creative people, creative assets into it. I mean, like I said, anything you drive. Like, what do you drive?
2018 Dodge Ram 1500.
Okay, like that's super simple. Okay, someone buys one of those, they're like, ooh, I want to make it my own. What are they going to do? Oh, they're going to go maybe buy some headlights for it, some new ones. Put some wheels and tires on it, make it look kind of tough and aggressive and everything like that. I mean, that's right there. That's like a vision. It's just like if you were going to go paint a picture. You know what I'm saying? You got some pictures in your background that made me think of that. It's like people that go paint that. It's like, ooh, they got a vision. They're going to go make that happen. Cars are like extensions of people's personalities, 100%, for the most part. Like you have people that they care less about a car. A car to them is just appliances. It's like buying a fridge. You know what I'm saying? It's just gets them to their job, gets them to the store. That's cool. And then you got other people, and like usually those people, they like, to be honest with you, I don't know, you go in their house and they got like one little painting on the wall, whatever, and then that, you know what I'm saying? That's just how they are. That's fine. But for like someone like me, it's like, I don't know, I take pride in what I drive for the most part. Like I have I have a truck that honestly it's just kind of beat up because I just use it to work. I don't really care. And I have a car that's a gas saver too. That's just, I don't really care about that. But it's like my main car that I have, it's like I try to take pretty decent care of it, and I try to like, I don't know. It's not, I didn't just drive it off the showroom floor and then be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is good enough, And
Right.
and I don't know. That's the thing is, it's like people that paint or people that even like write, you know, they have a style to it, you know, and it's the same way. Because there's old people, older guys that like back in the day when it was really like a thing to like customize stuff, you know, and it was like all just metalworking. And I mean, those people are just artists in themselves of like taking this car and then they like cut the top down a little bit and then like made it to where like the car looks like it's going 100 miles an hour just sitting still, you know what I'm saying? And it, you know, between the paint and the custom work and like those guys, like that is one of the biggest things, you know, like that came about. You know, it's kind of a dying art nowadays. Like people don't go that deep into doing stuff. Like, I don't know, a lot of people are kind of lazy about their modifications, as I'm going to call it. And, you know, people are going to be pissed off about that. I don't really care. But it's like, I'm sorry, you just buying a bunch of stuff off Amazon isn't really being something. But I don't know. I mean, everybody's got different skill levels. I try not to be too rude about it, you know, or whatever. I get that. But, like, if you really want to, you can push yourself as far as you ever want to. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you watch these people on YouTube and stuff like that and you want stuff like that, go learn how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Change your YouTube video from the guy that's just making everything look cool and change it to the guy that shows you how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's for me. It's, I don't know. That's where it is, I guess. You know, like it doesn't matter if you have a motorcycle, anything. You can you make it your own. You can get as creative, you know, as you want with it, you know, or be as simple as you want with it, you know. And that's pretty much kind of, at least why I think, you know, this, right. You know, what I do is pretty ingenuitive, at least anyway. So.
Yeah, because there's people that like have body kits. You can buy a body kit to make your car look like a different car pretty easily. But then there's people that make their own molds. Yeah. And I've seen people like sculpt foam to do different car bodies. And that's impressive.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, sometimes like those people are like, they're working on like a carport, you know what I'm saying, doing this, and it's really just a vision, you know, like they have like it's something where like people just see it, you know what I'm saying, like they have like this, it's kind of like people that build businesses and stuff like that. I mean, they can go buy like an empty lot and they'll already see a building built there, you know, 30 employees, everything like that. They'll already see that. And it's like people like that, it's like, oh, I bought my Honda Civic and then I see it as this, you know what I'm saying, and it's like, that's cool. Like, I mean, I see things like that too. Like, I have a simplistic eye sometimes, though. Like, when I have stuff, it's like you almost don't really notice that sometimes that it's, like, anything special. Like, my Mustang really isn't special. But if you look, like, some people know that it's, like, it's got some lowering springs on it and it kind of sits a little nicer than it did from the factory. But, like, I used to have, like, wild colored wheels on it and stuff like that. I liked it, you know, I just liked it looking different, you know, than everybody else. But like that was one thing for me where it's like you said, like the people though, like you don't have to even build a body kit. Like if you buy a body kit and you make it fit like crazy, because a lot of stuff like that, it's fiberglass, you know, it's like it's built to a certain level of readiness, but the people that sit there and meticulously make them fit the car like perfectly, that's another skill level. That's a whole nother thing, because I mean, there's some people that just kind of slap it on there, you know. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of your small town people will know the people that have, you know, I bought this Civic for $1,200 and I slapped this $500 you know eBay body kit on it, and it's just pop riveted on there, and it's, you know, like all my panels are white, you know, and everything like that, and you know the car's blue and black and whatever else, you know. It's like you know, that's cool that they're doing something and at least working and trying to use their brain a little bit, because that's something that, to be honest with you, drives me nuts about people nowadays, is I feel like no one uses their brain, honestly. Even just they barely use their brain enough to keep them alive, but it just, I don't know, everybody's just in that like phase of just trying to like numb their minds all the time with Facebook and everything like that. And it's like, you know, I don't know. I do that too sometimes, you know. It's kind of just
it's hard not to.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody's attention span is so small nowadays, and it's like it's slowly like ingrained. It just becomes ingrained, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like no one can barely sit to watch a movie anymore, you know. And then it became like YouTube videos where it's like more like a 20-minute like thing, you know. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's not bad. It's a little bit shorter, you know, and then I don't have to sit there and take as much time out of my day. And now it's like literally 30 seconds, and you just click, 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 and you're like sucked in. And like I don't even have that shit. Like to be honest with you, like I don't, just because it's like, I mean, there's cool stuff that people can show on there, but to me, it's just a trap.
Yeah. I think I spend too much time just scrolling TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I sometimes give my wife shit a little bit just because like she'll get sucked into it, and next thing you know, like my phone's blowing up with a million videos, and some of them are really cool and whatever, and that's how I see that stuff. You know what I'm like anyway, you know, and it's usually just relative stuff to our lives or whatever. But like, I don't know, I like I said, I can get sucked into things, you know, like I'll have some days where I just want to sit inside and just do nothing. But like, I'd never stop moving, to be honest with you. I'm always tinkering with something, messing with someone. Someone has me over here doing something, you know, like, so like my sister-in-law, she's always got something for me to do too. And, or I've started really putting myself out there recently. I'm just trying to get more work and stuff like that, just because, I mean, at some point I would love to just be able to do my own thing, you know, like I want to be my own boss. I just don't want to work for the man all my life.
That's kind of why we started doing all this too, so we can.
Yeah, I mean, it's to be honest with you, it's like, and you know, it's crazy because like even like cars, like I don't know, like just fixing people's stuff isn't something that like I you know, I want to be like an all around kind of guy in a way, I guess. I don't know, like, because I've been kind of putting myself out there to just do all kinds of stuff. Like, to be honest with you, if you need some repairs, even some light stuff on your house or whatever, just because I like variety, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, is like, you know, I wish sometimes I could get some jobs where people are like, oh yeah, I want, you know, like a lift kit put on my truck or something like that. Because to me, that's more fun, you know, like when you're done with it, it's like, oh wow, it's cool, looks cool around, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just like, oh yeah, like I got this clunk in my car, can you figure it out and fix it? And it's like, okay, well, that to me, that's not satisfying. It's like, yeah, I find what's wrong and then I put a part on it, and then, oh okay, it's just back to mom life fan, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh okay, whatever. But I just I don't know. I don't know. I want to do like a little bit of everything personally, but so.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing with like the podcasting stuff is we have like 3 or 4 projects going on because we don't want to only do one thing. You know?
Yeah.
Like it gets boring if you're just doing one project for a prolonged period of time instead of being able to change it up and do stuff like this.
Yeah.
So I completely understand. I think it can get monotonous if you're doing something, especially if you're not as passionate about it, like just replacing a part instead of customizing a car.
Well, when I was a kid, I was more like I watched all the shows that were on Discovery Channel of like people like building custom stuff and everything like that. That's what got me sucked into cars, you know, and like even like helping my dad as a child. It was, you know, we did like some of your maintenance stuff, but a lot of times he was wanting to make his truck look cooler or whatever. So that's like, that was my main thing. And then like, you know, finding jobs to do that stuff is not as common as going and working at a dealership. I worked at a dealership for like 7 years or something like that. And it's like, that was so monotonous, you know, like you said, it's like just literally people coming in for the same nonsense, everything like that, or they're just bitching and complaining about something stupid. And it's like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like that is not what that stuff though is like for me. Like if I had my own business where I kind of did like repair stuff and custom stuff, the repair stuff is going to be what kind of really, you know, pays your bills per se. That custom stuff though, and you know, that's where you have to put a lot of energy and effort into making something that is so like out there, you know, which nowadays it's so hard. Like, I mean, I'm sure you guys see it in the podcast world because, I mean, recently there's just an influx of podcasts.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I was like, oh, yeah, I think it would be cool to have one. But it's like, it's hard for me to go and be like, oh, yeah, I want to go start one because, I mean, you're like one little goldfish in a big old ocean. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this can take off, anything like that. I mean, I could go make one, it could take off. Same way with like YouTube, you know what I mean? Like I said, I started a small channel of me just working on stuff like that I just had at my house, you know, it was like working on a mini bike, working on my wife's car, stuff like just for fun. I kind of didn't take it super seriously. And it's like, I mean, I don't know, it's hard for me to sometimes visualize it being something big, especially with like the automotive space, let alone is like just so like saturated with people and things and everything. And it's like, you got a lot of people though that are just doing like oh yeah, I bought this truck, and then like 2 videos later you see it given away or whatever, you know, like because that's how they're making money, you know. But it's like it's kind of one of those things that you have to do something that's just so standoutish or whatever you want to call it, and that's kind of what's hard sometimes, like to think about, you know. And it's like I don't know, to be honest with you, when my wife had volunteered me to be on here, like I was telling her, it's like this kind of made me feel like a certain podcast. It was called Fuckface. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
I don't think so. No.
Oh, dude, go check it out. I'm sure both of you guys would like it. It's literally just like one of those things where it's just a bunch of guys hanging out.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of gamer guys, I think. You know, like the one guy, I don't know, had some YouTube channel back in the day, like when Halo was kind of hot. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I can just sit there and I like rambling with my buddies, you know, kind of deal. I was like, oh, that'd be kind of fun because you don't really have a general like niche that you have to stay into.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing with like, I have so many just throughout my life. I've just got in and out of hobbies and stuff like that, you know, to where like I learned a little bit about them and stuff like that, and then I kind of get out of them because I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I have like these like waves of just what I'm really interested in sometimes, and that's what makes it hard sometimes about being successful too, a little bit, because it's like some of these people that, you know, make it so big, they get so hyper focused on whatever their craft is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all they do. They wake up, they work on that, they go to sleep. They wake up, work on that, go to sleep. And for me, it's like I wake up and I'm like, man, I got like 50 things I could work on. I got some of this, you know. It's like, I don't know, I think I'll do this today. You know what I mean? And it's like, to where like sometimes I don't always have the consistency on my stuff to like, I guess maybe project it forward. But that's why I'm trying to like get more work for myself a little bit, and I'm trying to stay consistent with doing that, because that's what's going to make me money and allow me to do other things I want in life, you know. And I mean, even that nowadays, to be honest with you, and just because I know you guys are wanting to kind of stay in the creative space, is like you even have to be creative with finding work, to be honest with you, because nowadays, like I get on just the pages of the towns we live in and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, hey, I'm looking for side work, you know, here's my name, here's my skill list and everything like that. But to be honest with you, in that same day, you've probably got 2 other people that ask the same thing, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, I just try to be like, I be very upfront with people, because I'm not going to oversell myself, if that makes any sense. Like if I haven't really done much of that, I'm going to be like, hey, you know, to be honest with you, I would rather you find somebody that has done it more often. That way I'm not, you know, costing you more money if I mess up, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm like super fair with people like that, you know, and like I said, it's almost like a creative thing a little bit, where you just got to find ways to, I don't know, make your money.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the thing. Like my wife, she's actually a pretty creative person too. Like actually I bought her a camera. Like it was kind of a cheaper deal, like just like a beginner pack, you know, because she kind of wanted to get into that, because she enjoys that. Like she's big on wanting to get pictures of things and stuff like that, you know. And I've been telling her to kind of put herself out there a little bit, because it's one of those things, like closed mouths don't get fed. You know what I'm saying? If you never promote your stuff, you're never going to get, I mean, you'll get some, just people that randomly find you or whatever. But like she did a little photo shoot recently with a girl and her daughter, you know, and like it came out really cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I told her too, it's like, you know, if you're like me, you're going to be hard on yourself all the time. But the thing is, the only way you're ever going to get better is just by doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like people that are, you know, professional photographers and stuff like that, or anything, they didn't just wake up and be good one day. You know what I'm saying? It's just all just every day. Like every time you go and shoot your camera, you might learn something. Every time you click that button, you'll learn a little something. Be like, oh, it was a little fuzzy. Why was it that way? You know, fuzzy. Or, oh, wow, the background's not in focus, or whatever it is. Like, to be honest with you, if you're a photographer and you want to find somebody that's really interesting as a photographer, his name is Larry Chen. He's like a automotive photographer, videographer. Amazing. I mean, he has like those cameras with the lenses that are like this big. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's actually, I can't remember, it's Canon, maybe. He's even got a sponsorship with them.
Oh, really?
Which is kind of crazy, because like, you know, usually like that's not really a thing. But like, I think he's even got like his own lens and everything like that. But that's another part of like automotive stuff. Like he's got a YouTube channel too, where he goes around and like finds people's like crazy car collections and stuff like that. Like he's someone I'd like to meet personally, just because, I mean, how you get to be like that. I mean, obviously he just had to do it a lot, but you know what I'm saying. So, but yeah, she does like my wife. She does like nails and stuff like that too. She just tries to get into like all like she does like the girl version of what I'm doing, just tinkering on things and finding things, you know. And it's but all that stuff, dude. It's crazy because nowadays we're like in this time of like abundance where like, and it's all because of social media. You know, and it's because like everybody, like YouTube is a big thing, you know, it's like it teaches somebody how to do something and then they think they're just going to go do it. And some people like, I mean, they make it work, you know what I'm saying? And that's, I mean, but like I tell my wife, it's like really you just got to put yourself out there and try it, do it, you know, kind of make things. That's what I do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just kind of.
I think the biggest thing with it is promo nowadays.
Yeah.
Because the market is very oversaturated.
Yeah.
Most people that are great at what they do were bad at what they do.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't decent when they started. They were just bad at it.
Exactly.
So you have to start by being bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you got to have the humility for it too. Like you have to be okay with being vulnerable in that spot of like, oh, wow, I kind of suck. You know what I'm saying? And it's just what it is. Like, I don't even know. I'm trying to think. It's like, I mean, to be honest with you, I tried to learn a guitar a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, it's one of those things. Like, I would be embarrassed just to even like play little nonsense that I learned in front of my dad. But it's like that was just when I was younger. But it's like nowadays, it's like, oh, whatever. What are they gonna do? Laugh at me? I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like as I've gotten older, I've gotten like where I just really don't care. You know? So it's just one of those things. It's like, I mean, oh well. If people like, I mean, I've had people like even on some of my posts, you know, they kind of just laugh or whatever. I don't care. I really don't, because guess what? It's like at least I'm trying to do something while you're sitting at home doing nothing. You know, right. I that's just how I am with people anymore. And it's like, you know, and I'm always trying to just better myself, you know, all around. You know, even being, you know, I'm a dad. I try to, you know, I try to do better. You know, sometimes like we fall in these like whatever you want to call it. What is that called? Like where you're just doing the same thing all the time and you don't even mean to. Yeah, like it's like I'm routinely kind of away. Yeah. And my problem is it's like it's hard for me to just sit down and slow down sometimes, you know, because
it's a struggle. It
because
really is.
My brain is always like I look at things of like a list all the time, every day of like this is what I gotta get done. Like I go to work, when I get home I got this much stuff to do. And it's like I would love to do a couple of these things, but then sometimes my to do is kind of bleeding into, you know, like family stuff like that sometimes. Like we're all trying in life, you know, to be honest with you. Everybody's like, I mean, the world's just weird, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to, I personally want to build something even business wise that like at some point it's just taking care of my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I've always been one of those people that I want to be like, above people in a way, like if that makes any sense. Like I don't want to just be the average person. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be someone that does own a business and like could like sponsor my kids like whatever T-ball or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Kind of deal. Like I just think that would be cool. And it's not like to be cocky or anything like that, because if like anybody that does know me, it's like I'm very humble about stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll let people just go borrow my car, my motorcycle. Like last year I taught a buddy how to ride motorcycles. He was lining up rides with my motorcycles to go. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really care, because it's just one of those things. It's just like I just want the stuff just to let everybody else have fun. You know what I'm saying? Like if I made $200,000 a year and I had, you know, even that's not really technically even a lot of money nowadays, but like, you know, where I had four-wheelers and stuff like that, I'd be setting up people just to come on, dude. I'm just trying to have fun. That's really my biggest thing. I'm just literally trying to fund fun in my life.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of this stuff comes about.
Like, Hunter, you met him. Like I'll come home from work and I'm like, I have to edit. I'm trying to learn a song guitar. Like I'm trying to keep up with that too and everything. And then I'm also tired from being up at 3 o'clock in the morning, so like I want to take a nap. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, but when can we play the PlayStation, or when can we go to the park?
Yeah.
Like trying to fit that into the same schedule on top of everything, because to me, like the more I edit, the more like I can create more content, and then I can help build a more financial future for him and his sister. You know what I mean?
And sometimes like my wife is like, you know, like we have a 5-year-old, you know, and sometimes I'm not the best at like slowing down To be honest with you, never really, because I'm always just on a time crunch of just trying to get stuff done. I'm big on like, I always just tell people my job is just getting stuff done. You know what I'm saying? Or making it work or whatever it is. I don't care if I'm moving your stuff from one house to another or I'm trying to fix whatever. You know, like, I don't know. I just, for some reason, I have that mindset. I don't know what it is. And sometimes like, you know, like, try to get him involved in that stuff. My wife's always like, well, just, you know, take her with you or do this. And like, to be honest with you, like I'll bring her out to like help me like back up my truck to my trailer. And like, she's actually understands now, like a little bit, like sometimes she has me going a little wonky or whatever, but like I'll have her like help me back up, you know, the ball under the trailer. And then I'll like kind of have her, it's stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know. We're all trying, man. And like nowadays too, it kind of sucks because it's like, I don't know, the money you make to the price of everything is not very equal. So it's like, I feel like everybody's having to technically, like, two things. You're having to almost work way more to just make money to survive. And then also, too, it's like if you're not, then you're constantly stressed and your brain isn't even in the right spot to, like, to be present with people sometimes because you're always worrying about like, oh, how am I going to pay this? Or, oh man, I got this expense next month. And it's like, oh, I'm making hot dog water budget here money, you know, kind of deal. And it's like, it's hard, you know, to be honest with you, you know, it's like, and me, I like to have fun too. So then I'm trying to budget that in and, you know, it's all just, I mean, I think that's a lot of people's things nowadays. And like, that's why like, I don't know, everybody's just always trying to escape on that stuff because it's like, I mean, you know, the money to price thing back in the day, like everybody's like, oh, if we had the prices of everything back in the day, it's like, yeah, but the money that you made, like, I mean, it's kind of relative in a way, you know, kind of not, kind of. But the thing is, it's like, what you need to say is if we had the prices of everything back in the day, but if we made the money we make now, you know what I'm saying? Right. And it's just, I don't know, it's kind of getting worse, you know, a little bit. And to be honest with you, the biggest thing that ever messed up really our economy lately has been COVID. You know, that really screwed up a lot of stuff. And to be honest with you, like at that point when just things were kind of climbed and everything like that. And then honestly, when I got with my wife and started, I count a family and like things just cost more when you have a family, you know, because you have other mouths to feed and other people that need clothes and everything like that. It's just like, it's honestly pushed me harder to actually go out and try to do things a little bit more because it's not just for me anymore. It's to satisfy other people or, you know, my family and make sure that they're well taken care of, you know, like I want to be able to take them on the trips and go do just whatever, Kings Island or whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to ever have to like tell like, you know, either my daughters like, oh yeah, we can't afford for you to play soccer this year or whatever, you know, like don't get me wrong. Like right now, sometimes I get frustrated because those little bills come in and, you know, whatever. And it's like, there's always something, you know, but like, right. I don't want to ever have to go through and tell them no, if that makes sense on stuff like that they want to do. So that's why like I push to do all the things I do. And that's why, like, to be honest with you, like I said, you got to be creative to do that stuff. Like right now in time, I do think that it is the best time to make money in a way, because I mean, you have all the social media to promote all your stuff. Like you can pay $0 to promote your stuff. You can use Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And there's so many new ways to make money nowadays. Like you got all these women that go buy a Cricut, dude, and they make tons of money just because they make some little sticker that says, you know, whatever this and whatever that, you know, and then they put it on a cup or all that stuff like that. Like that's one of the biggest things right now. Like I'm sure both of y'all have seen it. You know,
I keep trying to get my fiance to do it. I'm like, you're missing out.
Yeah, I have a friend that makes like $20 a sticker.
Yeah, I know. It's like I even did that back in the day a little bit. I didn't buy a Cricut. I bought just like an actual like vinyl cutter. My uncle got me in the kind of wanting to do it because he was making like decorations for people's walls. They were like vinyl things that would say like Bible verses or just, you know, whatever, live, laugh, love, whatever. I don't know. And he was actually making a little bit of money on it. And then I got into doing it a little bit. I was making, I'd make a little bit of money on like making just stickers for people's cars. Like I made like one for like an old buddy of mine. His mom had passed away, and it was like one of those like memorial stickers and stuff, you know, stuff like that. Like that was. But again, I'm not very technologically inclined like that. So the computer stuff, I would get a little irritated on. You know, I'm not I don't know. Computers kind of irritate me sometimes because I'm not very good with them. You know, like when it's not doing what I want it to do, like when I'm hitting the button, I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on here?
Computers are the best, but they're also the worst.
Yeah, I was trying to stream a video game yesterday. I stream like every few weeks. I'm really inconsistent about it. But for some reason, my camera that we're using can be used as like a webcam. The computer just wouldn't let me do it yesterday. And it's like, this is an $800 camera. Why is it not working?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like...
So I completely understand getting... Like, I have a nice computer, and it doesn't work sometimes.
Like, I think I was telling you before we started rolling here is that, like, I got an Xbox at my house. Like, the last time... Like, I literally had it sitting in my bedroom when I was living with my dad. Forever. In the same spot. Worked fine. I literally took it downstairs, and it started, like, it wouldn't play a game, you know, like, it wouldn't load a game. I'm like, it makes zero sense to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Technology in that sense makes zero sense to me. Now it won't even turn on. I couldn't even tell you why. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's, like, stuff like that. It's, like, I don't know. That's where my patience goes a little thin sometimes.
Yeah, I think, like, consoles are a lot harder to figure out than, like, a PC a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But when I bought my current computer, it would just power off randomly.
Yeah.
So I was Googling it. I replaced my power supply, my like storage, the SSD disks and everything like that. And then I end up calling the company and telling them I want it refunded.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you just need to update your motherboard. They're like, the motherboard that's on that PC needs updated before it works correctly. And it's like, you guys couldn't have told me this when you sold me the PC. It's like, I've spent a few $100s trying to fix this. And it was just so frustrating because it's like such an easy fix. It took 20 seconds to fix it, but it took 2 days to diagnose it.
It's kind of funny you say something like that because a guy I work with, me and him have kind of been, I guess, become like buddies at work or whatever, but he's big into like building computers and stuff like that, and he helped one of his friends build a computer. Literally I'm pretty sure it was a motherboard. He bought one brand new, and it already was like messed up straight out of the box. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things, like he literally went through every part that he, you know what I'm saying, and then just circled back around. That's what it was. So it's just, I don't know. I like to, again, I think all this stuff's cool. You know, like I kind of wish I was decent at it, which again, it's something I could learn. I'll absolutely learn, you know, go on YouTube, whatever, become YouTube, you know, certified on doing it, whatever. But honestly, it's just it's something that like when I was a kid, I did not like live on video games and everything like that. Like, you know, if people did, that's cool, whatever. My parents kept me pretty strict on like, oh, you can play for an hour. You know, every once in a while I'd get to play for kind of really however long I wanted, but like I'd usually play for an hour, and then I would always be outside and like just finding things to do, you know. And I'm kind of glad I did, really, you know, because it's like I feel like it honestly helped, I don't know, brain functionality a little bit sometimes, you know, because it's like some kids, man, it's like they just live on that stuff, and it's just nothing but just, you know, their eyeballs are just all over the place because they're just playing stuff all day long, and it's like golly, this can't be good for you, you know. It's like there's no, like, basically all the creation is there just in front of you, and you're just playing it, and it's like you don't, like, you know what I'm saying, like you're not going and figuring things out for yourself at all. Like when I was a kid, it was like building ramps to go jump my bike and stuff like that. Even that, you know what I mean? Like I don't see anybody doing that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I was so close to breaking out. I don't know how many bones when I was a kid, just creating stupid stuff. Or there was one place I lived where one year for Christmas he got the little plastic ramps. Like it was like back in the day, it was like sponsored by X Games or something like that, and it was like a ramp with a box, and then it had another ramp, and it all connected together. Well, like we got bored with the box part of it like instantly because it was like this big. So we took that out, and then we just started like taking the ramps and just pushing them further and further away, and you know, just seeing how far we could go, you know. And like I don't know, it's just stuff like that. It's like kids are missing out so much on stuff like that nowadays.
I think one of the things that doesn't help with that is everyone's living in apartments now, like in the big like 3-story duplexes, big 3-story apartments, and they don't have a yard or anything to go outside and play with. And
so that's what's even crazy though is like, I mean, so I grew up in an apartment for like, I don't know, a couple years of my life here and there, but where I was living, like, I almost kind of regret it in a way because I still to this day, I like skateboarding and stuff like that. You know, I watch it, you know, I don't always like keep up on it super heavily, but like, I still, there's a little love for it there. And when I was a kid, like I did skateboard and stuff like that. And one of the places I lived, I literally could go out of our apartment, take a left, go for like an eighth of a mile, and there was a skate park there. And that was like ultimate opportunity where I could have like those skills like could have been honed in so perfectly. But again, like I told you, you know, I kind of like, I'll be like interested in it for a minute, and I kind of like, oh, you know, something over here, something over there, and like, but it's like that. It's like I wish sometimes too there was a little bit more like for kids to do like that nowadays, like in places, because it's like even, I mean, and or even be able to trust your kid, you know, trust that the world isn't going to just gobble your kid up as soon as they leave the door by themselves. Because that's the thing is like when me and my sister were kids, we'd just go ride to the skate park by ourselves and we were okay. You know what I'm saying? We'd, you know, my mom would maybe say, hey, just come check in an hour or something or two or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that was cool. But like, it's like once you have kids, you understand too. It's scary. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I literally Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. I literally was standing in my driveway, about had someone like wrecked in my driveway, dude. Like I literally was standing, I watched this truck come flying through the field or whatever. I was like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. But it's just like nowadays, like people just don't pay attention. People, I don't know, they're just not very trustworthy.
Yeah, especially like I saw somebody on the interstate a week or two ago. I was driving, and they were scrolling TikTok while driving.
Yeah, it's like
what are you doing, man? We're going 75 miles an hour right now.
That is a point I want to make right here. Is that, you know, people think like, you know, driving in cars and all that shit like that can be so dangerous, but honestly, do you ever think about how amazing it is that how many cars are on the road, and like in all reality the amount of crashes is pretty low?
Yeah, it's still a safer form of transportation than a lot of things.
Because I mean, you just get on the highway, dude, look at all the cars, like, you know what I'm saying, you just watch the cars that are going down this way, and it's like, well, I'm just driving next to like Bethany over here, you know, like I don't know really what her skill level is, and we're riding 2 feet apart. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's interesting. You know, it's like
it makes it crazy
to think about it that way. You know what I'm saying? Because in all reality, it's not like you see a car wreck every time you go drive your car. You know, in technicality, I mean,
yeah.
So.
There's hundreds of cars every time you go out. At
exactly.
This point. Especially in the U.S. I understand it's a lot less in other countries, but we have a lot of car traffic.
Yeah.
We also travel for distances in other countries.
Yeah, yeah. I do think that one of the things I appreciate most about my childhood, like we didn't have money and everything. We were allowed to play one sport a year because it cost $100, and that was too much back then. But we had very limited amount of times that we could play video games or watch TV. Like we had windows of time we were allowed to do that. When we weren't doing in those windows, we would like read books and go play sports with our friends and stuff like that. I tried to skateboard and didn't get it down any day, so I gave up. But like riding bikes and playing baseball and football and stuff like that. Like I was very active, and I don't think I would be the person I am today if I wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, kids nowadays don't have any attention span because it's only on their phone or on a tablet or watching TV. They're not as active as they used to be, and there's still. I mean, I still see kids on scooters and stuff every so often. It's just not as
they're electric
frequent.
now.
Yeah.
You know, you don't got to kick it anymore or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree, because it's like even video games now, like what's that one? Fortnite. You know, it's like I don't even really know much about it, to be honest with you. But it's like you just get instant gratification all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, boom, match, boom, match, boom, match, whatever, you know, and it's like TikTok, you know, it's like, oh, that's funny, oh, that's funny, oh, that's funny, and it's like, golly, it's like no one has, like, even that, it's like people, it even makes people think that, like, oh, I'm going to go work for 20 minutes and then I'm going to be a millionaire, and it's like, that's not how, that's not how life works, and it's like people don't even understand, like, it's been that way for a long time, even back, say, like when MTV Cribs was a thing, okay? People, like, saw that, and it's like, oh, yeah, that guy can have it. I need to have that. And like literally the work that the guy that they're watching, you know, like LeBron James or whatever, you know, he went and played basketball probably every day, all day for, you know, 2/3 of his life to be able to afford. And then, you know, you got some dude over here, like, I hoop with my buddies or whatever. And like, I need to be living in a mansion, you know? And it's like, no, it's like, it's the same way now though. Like, I feel like people like are, you know, they watch YouTube, you know, and they see, oh yeah, this guy's like, he just bought a Corvette, or yeah, he's got this massive truck, or like, and whatever. And it's like, I need to have that. I'm entitled to that. And it's like, you don't put in the work because like, it's like you don't have the attention span to work that hard for any amount of time to get yourself anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, and I think it's easier to get that now because it's like MTV Cribs. You had to wait for a new episode to come out or watch a rerun.
Yep.
Now you can just go on YouTube and find 50 videos about it.
oh yeah,
You know?
I mean,
So I think it's a lot easier to get that that want for these kind of things.
yep. Like, yeah, like, I mean, it's like the instant gratification type deal. Because, like, even Netflix, you know, like, back in the day, TV shows or whatever, like you said, it was a every week thing, you know? Like, Friday night, I had my show I watched, you know? Like, everybody leave me alone. Nowadays, you get on Netflix, and it's like they release half a series all at once. You don't have to wait for it, which sometimes I'm thankful for, you know? I don't really watch a lot of shows, but, like, me and my wife and my sister have gotten to watching a show, and it's like a... You know, I'm like, man, for this next season, I have to wait until it's all out, you know, to be honest with you, because I cannot be sitting on a cliffhanger every time, you know. But I don't know, it's just, I don't know, people don't understand how to wait nowadays, you know. It's like, I mean, you know, great things come to people who wait kind of deal. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's hard to, like, when you're in it, it's hard for yourself to even realize it sometimes. Because
Cliffhangers used to be so cool too because
Yeah.
you would go to school and talk about like
Yep.
what do you think's going to happen next episode.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a different time back then.
See, that's why I'm still like a big wrestling guy because that's still live every week.
Yeah.
Like you have to wait until the
Yeah.
next episode. And I don't really have any more friends that like wrestling like I used to. But like I still like to sit there and like theorize like where they're going to take this storyline and what they're going to do with it.
So
and
I
everything.
I was telling you before we got done or we started here is like I've had multiple, like I can talk a little bit about everything. I had a spot in my life where I was big into wrestling, okay? And it was like it was on the end of when it was really good in my opinion, okay? Because just like everything now or nowadays it's gotten really pussified, you know what I'm saying? But like I was on that era of like when it was kind of hardcore, you know what I'm saying? Like you had like, you know, women half dressed, you know, and guys like, you know, sexualizing them and, you know, like people throwing beers and shit like that. Like that was my time that I grew up in it. And it was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like it was edgy, you know, and it was awesome. You know, you had people coming out and just bitching about whatever. That was honestly, I loved that era. And there's a lot of people like that nowadays where like anything they watched when they were a certain age or a kid or whatever, that was the best to them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they had. And I just can't get into it like that nowadays because to me it's gotten, you know, which change is not bad, but it's like one of those situations where it's not as like edgy as like I used to watch it. Like I grew up watching it when it was like, you had like Edge and the Hardy Boys and all that stuff like that. And like that feud and like D-Generation X and all that, you know what I'm saying? And like that stuff was so good, you know, like that stuff was so good. And I mean, just honestly, a lot of the talent and everything that went into just that stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, that was fun for me. Like I honestly, you know, I was you know, I say it sometimes too. It's like, even to my wife, it was like, I was watching, I watched the X Games, you know, and I go back and I'm like, man, I miss when it was like kind of around my childhood, like when I was maybe like 10 to 13, because like that era of stuff and a little bit before, a little bit after, it was like such a big thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you had so many like different brands of stuff that were into like the action sports world and everything like that, and it's just like it's so just nowadays. I feel like, you know, like everybody's got a different opinion on it, but it's like, you know, you have like 3 companies to choose from stuff, and you know, it's kind of just, it gets commercialized a lot, you know, And like, there's still people that are like really good at like skateboarding and stuff like that, and they do their work and all that. But like, I don't know. It's just not like, again, it's like that edginess of like how it was when we were young or something. I don't know if that makes any sense. But
Yeah,
like,
I think the X Games has a unique thing where like people were pulling off new impressive tricks a lot, and it's kind of stagnated because how do you do better than what some of those guys were doing?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like the motocross stuff, like the Moto X. Like, to be honest with you, it's like, I mean, their best trick, like they have the best trick competition. It's like, I mean, to the point of like you're almost trying to do like the Johnny Storm from the original Fantastic Four, where you're like flipping off the bike. It's like, I mean, there ain't much more you can do. I mean, almost, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, now you're just almost perfecting the craziness, you know, and that stuff is like getting to a point where it's almost a little like it's just not as mainstream, and a lot of guys are just like they're just going and having fun on their dirt bike, and they're doing almost better just making videos of them having fun riding their dirt bike. And like, you can have like someone like me or whatever that just hits some little jumps in a wheelie or whatever, and like, just because they make it look cool and they're just kind of just having fun, like, people like it, you know. And it's like, I don't know, that's just how, I don't know, it's like it's on its like, I don't know, plateau right now of just where, I don't know, I don't know if any of that stuff will ever come back.
I do think it's tough because like Tony Hawk, I remember when he had the 720, you know?
Yeah.
And now that's just normal.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
people just do it all the time.
Yeah, and then he did the 900.
Yeah.
You know, and then that was like, that's still something though that like really he's just the guy for.
Yeah.
You know, really, in all reality. I mean,
I do think people, it used to be that you get into those sports to have fun. Like you were saying, the people now that you watch the videos and they're just having fun, they're not trying to compete. Now it seems like a lot of BMX and everything, you're doing it to get a sponsorship. You're not doing it to enjoy it. It's kind of taking the life out of it.
To be honest with you, that's pretty much everything in life. You know, everybody's just doing it for $1. You know, they're not doing it for the love. Like that's again with the times, okay, is like baseball used to be America's sport, you know, and people, like the people that played baseball, they didn't give a shit if they made 25 cents or $1 playing it. They just played it because they loved it. And they were amazing because they loved it. Like, it was a passion, you know what I'm saying? And it's the same way with like skateboarding, like, or motocross or anything like that. It's like Travis Pastrana. I know everybody knows that name, okay? You know why he's like one of the best? Because he just loved it. He didn't give a shit about making any money on it. Like, I mean, I've watched a lot of interviews with him. Back in the day, he could care less about racing. He was just trying to have fun on his dirt bike. And he was passionate about just doing tricks and like stuff like that. Like, he literally would go hurt himself because like he was just wanting like, I think I can land that. You know what I'm saying? Didn't care about what dollar amount it came on the back end. Just was having fun. And that's kind of like where, you know, like there's things in life where I feel like you do it because you have to have money to do your fun stuff in life. But there's also, that's kind of where your hobbies come in, is that those are your passions, you know. And it's like, I feel like it's very rare that you get to make like your passion what makes you money in life. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what's hard. That's kind of where I'm at. You know, I see you guys are at like too with doing podcasts. I'm sure that's like one of your guys' passions to do, because it's like you wouldn't be doing it otherwise, because I mean, there would be no other reason to, I guess, you know what I'm saying? And it's a situation where like, that's the way cars are. I mean, like the automotive stuff and all that stuff like that, kind of bringing it back around, is like, you know, that's just always been my passion. Like, I mean, when I was a kid, I used to draw out like shops, you know, that I would be like, oh yeah, if I made it big, this is how my shop would be, you know, and everything like that. Like, I used to like, I almost make these little pencil plans of like, you know, these shops and everything like that, and like cars I'd love to have, or motorcycles and all this stuff like that. And that's like how far it went back to me, you know, like, and a lot of that had to do with just some of those shows on Discovery Channel, because I was like, oh man, that'd be really cool to have, you know, like all this like space to do things. And like, you know, because, you know, I was always just doing stuff. I still am. I just do it, you know, in my driveway or whatever, you know. But eventually I'll get there, you know. I'm working on it. Like, that's my thing right now. That's why I'm kind of putting myself out there more, you know. But like, I don't know. I'm just passionate about it. Now, there's some times where I absolutely hate it, which I feel like that's anything, you know. Your deepest passions can also create the deepest hate sometimes, you know. Just because the reason why is because you love it so much. You know what I'm saying? It's like how, like, it can even happen with people. Like, you love them so much, and it's like you just want them. It's like you know, if you have a kid, you know, and they're that teenager that's just rowdy, and you're just wanting them to do good, you know, and they're just kind of being rebellious, you know. It's like you just want the best for them so bad, you know, and it's like you just want them to get their head out of their ass a little bit, you know, and it's like, you know, we were all probably that way at some point with our parents, you know, whatever, but you're passionate about something, you're always going to have feelings for it deeper than a lot of other things in your life, you know, and that's why you're going to hate it at times, you know. You're going to, you know, there's times like I could care less for like a week to even touch a car or whatever. Like, I just don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Sometimes I'm cool with just going on a bike ride with my family or something, you know, and like, that's fine, you know, or whatever it is. I don't know. And in all reality, that's going to be, though, that's the thing I know best in life, to be honest with you, because I've been passionate about it for so long, you know, and that's the thing is, I didn't grow up like with my dad being in construction like people do or anything like that. Like, I kind of just grew up kind of having to find my own skills and the things I wanted to learn and do. So, I don't know. My dad was big into cars, so that kind of is what steered me in that direction. And I've always just, I don't know. I never, like I said, I had a lot of other hobbies that like interested me, but nothing is like as far as cars and stuff like that. Like, you know, if I had buckets of money, it's like I'd have a car for every day of the month at my house. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally how it is. I mean, honestly, you come to my house now, it looks like a car lot almost. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. But, you know, so yeah, I don't know. That's a I don't know, in a nutshell, like, I guess how I feel about things sometimes, because it's like, I don't know, without passion, you're just doing stuff just to do stuff. You know what I mean? And that's where, I don't know, it comes around full circle, I guess, you know. So,
yeah. Well, like when I'm 4 hours deep into editing a video that's going to get 200 views,
yeah,
it's like I want this, you know.
Yeah, exactly,
It's like,
exactly. Well, that's the thing, dude. Is like, that's where people, and I don't mean to cut you off but we'll get into this topic here in a minute. Is YouTube, okay? You know, like I said, I didn't take that very seriously, but like, I'd have some videos that would get a couple thousand. What the hell, you know? Or I'd make like little YouTube shorts. I got kind of interested in those a little bit, you know. It's like, I don't really watch the content, but I was okay with making it, kind of deal. But I'd have some that get a couple thousand. I'm like, man, what the hell? And then it's like, I'd do almost the same thing next time. I'm like, well, then, and I was like, and I feel like the media stuff nowadays, so like podcasts, video, YouTube stuff, I feel like until you have like a consistency of like the amount of views, you're always going to be like this, because it's just whatever they promote, you know what I mean? And it's random. So I think you were going to say something. What were you going to say?
I forget, to be honest. Now they got that whole trend where, like, if you do post a TikTok where you post like reels or YouTube shorts, now that they want you to save the video and delete it and then repost it, because they're going to be pushing different algorithms at the time. So that video might get a better chance of blowing up the second time.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, see, that's why I'm not very creative on, because like, I'm not very tech savvy or anything like that. Like, my brain does not work very good in that space sometimes, of like, I would never think to like, oh, my video got like a couple thousand views, let me take it down, put it back on. Like, I don't know, I just don't think like that, because I'm like, okay, well, I'll just make another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally, I'll just move on to the next one, because it's like a YouTube short, it takes you a couple seconds to make or whatever, and it's usually just something, you know, me being retarded in the garage, or just, you know, like, I'd take videos of my wife or whatever, you know what I'm saying, just being whatever, you know. And it's like, I don't know, it's, to me, and I think a lot of this media stuff is like a roller coaster of like, you know what I'm saying, because it's like you said, 200 views, but that's a thing, okay, nowadays, is where I always get on these little side tangents, but again, it's a problem with nowadays, dude, is people don't realize, like, because, like, when you look on social media, the view counts, okay? Unless you have, you think unless you have 1,000, you know, then it's like, it's just nothing. But imagine you had 200 people stand out in your front lawn, dude, and they all watched your podcast. Like, how crazy would that be?
Yeah, I think I love it on like TikTok because I have one video that's done insanely well, but I think everything else it's like a few hundred on TikTok. But the thing I don't love about YouTube is it will say, "Oh, 200 people watched this for 10 seconds."
Yeah.
And it's a 30-minute video.
Yeah.
That sucks. But
Yeah.
I mean, that means 200 people clicked on it. That means I at
Exactly.
least made a decent thumbnail.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Gary
Yeah.
Vee just posted something about this, and it was like basically different crowd shots. Mm-hmm. But he was like, "What 5 people look like? What 40 people look like?" You know?
Yeah.
And it's like this is why you keep going
Yeah.
because at some point they're all just going to be there.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like, you know, again, social media has made things like, honestly, easier in life, but has also made things just so shitty. Because to be honest with you, I'm going to put it this way. It's like the biggest, like the validation for people. You know what I'm saying? Because they think like, you know, they post something and then like if it doesn't do good, it's like people instantly like it. I mean, that hurts your like mental health, you know, 100%, you know? And I think that goes with like, if it's something like a podcast like this or like a YouTube video or like, you know, like some, like, you know, it's big and it's always kind of been this way with like females or whatever, even just outside of like, you know, they're kind of ruthless a little bit, you know? So it's like I would hate to be in school nowadays because it's like, I mean, the bullying that would go on, I feel like with, and I don't know because I don't really know anybody that's even in school, like high school nowadays. Right. But it's like I'm sure however popular are is based on your followers and this and whatever pictures you're posting and it's like, my God, dude, it's like I feel bad for kids nowadays. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to base their lives off of just some bullshit on the internet. You know, and it's like that's the thing is like too. It kind of goes back to the MTV Cribs thing. It's like people show you what they want you to see. And people, for some reason, I don't know why, but that is just beyond them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because it's a situation where it's like, do you literally think that these people are okay 100% of the time? Or their family life is perfect 100% of the time or whatever? It's like, no, it's like not. Because guess what? They are humans just like you. I mean, they go and put their pants on one leg at a time. They go take shits like we do. Their life is not as perfect as they make it out to be. And to be honest with you, even too, it's like goes to people that are just trying to look like they're balling in life all the time. It's like, hell, nowadays they got rental services where you can go rent a fucking Jaguar or whatever and look like you got money. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. It's I don't know. It all ties around. You know what I mean? It's just like I said, you know, you guys are in the space of like almost validation with by views.
Yeah,
I've kind of been in that a little bit too, and it is hard, you know, because it's like I said, if you had 200 people that told you did a good job, like out here in your yard, that'd be crazy, you know, like people would be wondering what the hell's all these people standing out in my yard for, you know what I'm saying, like, but it's like on the internet, it looks like nothing, just because it's just a little number, and you know, I don't know, it's just crazy to think about that sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's tough sometimes because another issue is you get comments on videos, and there's always going to be the negative people in the comments. And those are the ones that you remember? I can remember maybe like 3 positive comments. I got a recent one on a video. I did like a movie review thing. And the only reason I remember it is because I clicked on the guy's profile and he's a decently big YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Like,
well, to be honest with you, take Joe Rogan's advice. He doesn't read comments.
Yeah.
He doesn't really, because to be honest with you, what people understand is that behind a keyboard, you have no repercussion. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, half the shit people 85% of the shit people say on the internet, if they would say it to someone's face, they would probably get punched in their mouth. That's factual. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, okay, I'm not even old, but I know this how it was. You know, you talk to some old fart or whatever, you know, and back in the day, what did they do when 2 guys got irritated? They probably fought about it. You know what I'm saying? Like physically fought about it, and they were cool because it just whatever. Nowadays, you just got a bunch of people just bullshit on the internet, and because they know that it's like literally, it's just I can hide behind my screen and say whatever the hell I want, and then okay, it doesn't affect me anymore after that because I don't have to even go back and look at it.
Yeah, the
One of
worst
things that
ones.
suck for us though is compared to like Joe Rogan, he doesn't have to respond to comments.
Yeah,
Us responding to the comments helps build the fan base.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So
I think the worst thing is you get a lot of comments where it's like you didn't watch the video.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a situation, to be honest with you. Like, I've had some people kind of like that too on some of the stuff that I've posted, and I usually just come back with some smart ass remark because I don't really give a shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if you want to be a dick, I'll be a dick. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the way I look at it. But like the people that are like super interactive, I'm always cool with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. To be honest with me, it's kind of, it goes back to a thing. It's like, I mean, I think it's really cool that you're even interacting with me, you know, because I'm just a nobody. You know, it's kind of like if I'm driving around and a little kid sees my car, because, you know, it's like it looks like a Hot Wheel, you know, and I think that's the coolest thing ever. You know what I'm saying? Because I was that kid once. And so it's even kind of like that when you get comments of people like, wow, it's like it gives you a little glimpse of what it's like to like have notoriety a little bit, you know, and it's cool. It's cool because like everybody just wants to be loved in the world, you know, and that's really kind of what it is. Everybody just wants someone to tell them that, hey, you know, your shit's cool. They love you, whatever, you know, and I think that's a big problem nowadays, you know, it's like, I don't know, everybody just tries to be a hard ass, and everybody like, I mean, the people that are, you know, the peace, love, and flower power, whatever it is, it's just like they're kind of a little weird, but, you know, like personally, but yeah, I don't know. I just like, that's the thing with the social media stuff for sure, is that, you know, everybody's just trying to get validated, you know, and to me it isn't always the right way to get validated, you know, because like, I don't know, the internet's kind of a hard place, to be honest with you, sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I think my saving grace is a lot of the comments I look at it, and it's like, that's probably a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
That person's probably half my age,
Yeah.
at least, and the parents let them have a phone. That's what it boils down to.
yeah.
I mean, and that's the funny thing is like them kids just think they got life figured out, and they got it no, because they, you know what I'm saying, like like phones and social media is raising so many kids nowadays, and that is such a problem. That's such a problem because it's like that stuff isn't real. You know what I'm saying? It's giving these kids like this false accusation of what life is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sorry, but like not everybody in this world is cut out to be a millionaire. You know, there's like, you know, there's people that are going to be working at McDonald's for a good portion of their life and everything like that. And it's a situation where like the world needs those people too. You know what I'm saying? They're, you know, it's just the way it is. I don't know. Some people are just wired to not do that. Some people are perfectly okay with, like, some people just like simple lives, to be honest with you. I used to work with a guy like that. I mean, he literally came to work. He would do his job perfectly fine. He wasn't lazy or anything like that. But outside of work, he was okay with just kind of not really doing much. And I'm sure his life was very peaceful, to be honest with you. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I just like to see things, do things, experience things. You know, it's kind of crazy because I feel like a little bit like that's a waste of life. You know what I'm saying? Not being mean to him. He was a super nice guy, but like I said, it was just. I mean, he would like, you know, play video games a little bit and watch sports. That was his thing. You know, which nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I feel like you should go experience things a little bit more, you know, even if it was just going hanging out with some friends for a little bit or something, you know, like that was, but that was him, you know, and I don't know, just.
Yeah, and we do need those people.
Yeah.
I mean, without it, nothing's going to keep moving.
Exactly. Because, I mean, if you got everybody trying to be chiefs and you have no Indians, then you're never going to have any kind of deal, you know, you're never going to have a solid establishment, you know. But like I'm trying to, you know, me personally, like I've always wanted it better for myself, and I sometimes find it like I'm incapable of being that way because I don't feel like I'm very smart. But to be honest with you, like I have to sometimes tell myself that honestly what's crazy is some of the most successful people, it wasn't because they knew a lot, it was just because they had the balls to go do it. You know what I mean? Like that is what is honestly, because like I've worked for some companies like that. I'm like, wow, if they can do it, I can do it, 100%. And especially for the time that they've been doing it, I can definitely do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I don't know. It's like I said, sometimes it's just stepping out and going and doing things, and that's why I've been putting myself out there more. Like I said earlier, it's like you got to start somewhere, and that's the thing. The hardest step is always the first step. Because after that though, you just got to take another one. You know what I'm saying? That's what's crazy. But
what's something that you would want to leave behind, like that you would want to say to anyone who's listening right now?
That like might want to go into a creative venture, but they're kind of hesitant.
To be honest with you,
You're fine, man. It's a tough question.
To be honest with you, it might be a little lengthy here, but to be honest with you, is that sometimes it's not always what you know; it's who you know, and sometimes it's just finding the right people and surrounding. Like the biggest thing. Anything on being successful, and that's in a creative field or just a regular field, is surrounding yourself around people that are like-minded in a way. Now, I'm not saying you have to be like, you guys are like twins, but it's better to learn from people that are at least maybe even going the places that you want to go, and not people that are just sideline quarterbacking, if that makes any sense. And what I've really learned that because, like, to be honest with you, like, there's people that, like, try to kind of guide your life, and this can be your parents. And I'm not saying for people to go and disregard what their parents have to say, but it's just true that, like, if you're wanting to go here and people are telling you stuff that's only been here, that's not going to work, because they will always keep you here. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, like my friends group, like I have a friend that, to be honest with you, me and his relationship is usually just hanging out. That's kind of just, like I help him out with a bunch of stuff, when he needs it. He just, again, he's kind of a simple life kind of guy. If he needs to move some stuff, I'll go help him move some stuff with my truck kind of deal. I have another friend that, like, a lot of times when we're hanging out, we're talking like business stuff, like life stuff, like where we want to go, because like we're both not wanting to be here for all of our life, and I think that's the thing, is like a lot of people get sucked into like hanging out with like people that are just kind of make them comfortable, and never like tell them like, oh, you're being lazy, or hey, you like, let's work on this stuff together, or whatever. They're just looking for the next weekend fun thing or whatever. And like, to be honest with you, you're just going to get cycled into that for the rest of your life. If you just hang out with those people all the time. If you're just hanging out with people that are just waiting for the weekend every Monday, I mean, we kind of all are a lot of times, because that's when we get time to work on our passions and stuff like that, But like, it's just the people that are just sitting there just waiting to go get drunk every weekend and all that stuff like that. It's like, that's not going to take you anywhere. You know what I'm saying? That's just not, like, you're literally, if you keep doing that, there's going to be a time when you're going to see the cycle of people and wherever you're hanging out, and it's just going to be the same sad thing. It's going to get some people that come in and leave, and I don't know, that's just, for me, that's something that, like, I kind of learned in my lifetime, is like and because I used to have a pretty big friend group, but they were just kind of, in all reality, they all fizzled away, because like they're just, I don't know, they were okay with basic lives, and that's kind of just where they are, what they're going to be, and it is what it is. For me, like, I don't know, I just always wanted more, and two, I kind of get tired of bullshit, to be honest with you, with people. Like, I just don't like drama. I absolutely hate drama. I give a shit less about, like, a lot of shit, to be honest with you. And that's the thing too. Like, don't get caught up in drama. Like, it's not worth it. No one gives a fuck, because it's drama, because it is drama. You know what I'm saying? Like, that some people get hung up on that. And then also too, never be scared to ask questions because, like I said earlier, closed mouths don't get fed. I ask questions all the time. Like my wife's dad, he does like house remodeling and stuff like that. Like when I have no problem calling him up and being like, "Hey, how would you do this?" You know, like 100%. Like even if maybe I'm not gonna actually do it fully that way, it's more or less just to get a little bit of like a professional opinion on what's the best way I should do this. And then usually though, I will already have had a little bit of knowledge, or I do a little bit of research, and I'll come at him with like viable questions, not like, "Hey, how do you do this from scratch?" You know, I'll be like, usually I'm like, "Hey, I watched a video of someone kind of doing it this way. Is it okay to do that way? Or why do you do, or, you know, would you do it this way?" Or like, you know what I'm saying? I try to come in with a little bit of knowledge on questions, you know, and I don't know. That's just, those are two big things. Like I've never been really one to like be afraid to ask people questions, especially if they're like people that are further ahead than me. Like every year for the last 3 years, me and my best friend, we've gone to a race in Maryland, and it's like people that like their cars are like 6 figures at least, you know, and like we get to walk around like the pits and everything like that. Like, and we talked to a couple people, and I literally just asked like, "So what do you do to be able to afford this?" I'm not like, I have no problem asking. Like if they want to tell me, they'll tell me, and then they usually have no problem. And if some people like, okay, whatever, you know, I don't know, maybe you sell drugs, I don't know, I don't care. But like I talked to a dude that he literally, him and his wife, the way that they paid for traveling, you know, for all their marriage, because they were married for like 30 plus years or something crazy like that, is they did racing. And his thing is he created an industrial cleaning business, and that's how he funded his racing, which then in turn funded his traveling, you know. I thought that was cool. That was cool to know. You know what I'm saying? Like I just, you know, like as much as I don't care about people, I do think people are interesting. I like learning about kind of what makes people go, what they do, what, you know, like how are you making your money, you know? It's not like I'm going to go, I know, not like I can go in 2 days and go take over your stuff, you know? So that's a thing. And the third thing, to be honest with you, is like, don't worry about too much criticism. You know what I'm saying? Like the peanut gallery is the peanut gallery for a reason. You know what I mean? Do what you want to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like don't try to mold your stuff just to get validation. You know what I'm saying? Like make your stuff the best that it can be, and eventually it will find its spot. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people that just are trying to just do it just to get like a little bit of notoriety, you know. And it's,
I do think with your second point, there is a reason that most business classes say you should network. Because you should learn how different industries do things.
Yeah.
Because it might help how you're doing things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, dude, to be honest with you, say I ran an automotive shop, okay? I would still have no problem going and talking to, I don't know, someone that runs a boutique and see how they run their business. Because even if it's like, even though our businesses are probably two separate things, like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe she runs her books differently. That might help. Or maybe she has a little bit like some tax cuts that she could help me out with, even on my stuff. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like knowledge is never going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Learning is never going to hurt you. I mean, really, in a way, in a roundabout way. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I kind of one of those things. Like sometimes I get sucked into weird stuff, and I know a little bit about a lot. You know, so I always say it's like because sometimes I get hyper asphyxiated on like wow, that stuff's really interesting. Like I just get sucked into this nonsense. You know, like. But yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, even like, you know, you guys are wanting to do a podcast or whatever, but even if you want to turn this into a full-on business, you know, go talk to somebody that's maybe in some marketing or something like that, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, it's a little bit different, but they're still kind of dealing with like media stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Do it, you know? Don't ever be afraid to ask a question. And to be honest with you, you know, right now, if this is a smaller podcast, and then I don't know if they have conventions for stuff like this or anything like that.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to go like the biggest guy, you know, and just ask them. You know, if they don't answer, screw them, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Go on to the next guy. Someone will talk, you know, someone will. I mean, when I was younger, you know, and I was even like, I got big into Instagram for a while. Where like I was like, you know, I had stuff that people liked what I built. I liked what, you know, and I would have no problem commenting and like, dude, how did, you know, like what do you got going on with your car? And there's some people that are super helpful and whatever, and that was awesome, and that makes me feel good. And then I liked when I could be helpful back because, like, you know, like I had say a truck that's like, oh, how, you know, what's your setup on that? And like I have no problem telling you because it's one of those things. Go do it if you like it. That's cool. So, but I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm just
we appreciate you.
I'm literally a nobody. So,
But we're not necessarily somebody's right now either. So
yeah, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I kind of always thought it would be cool to do something like this, you know. And I guess now I can say I've done it. So
yeah, I think the main purpose of this sort of thing is to just talk to people about what they're passionate about.
yeah,
And I think
Shine
it's
a light for others who might be interested in it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, to be honest with you, dude, I mean, you guys need to really ride that wave of trying to inspire people. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like make it to where maybe you're not just wanting to talk to people that are just creative, you know, like talk to people that are just into something.
Yeah.
Because to be honest with you, those are going to be like your best things, in my opinion. Because when you get someone talking about what they're passionate about, man, it's like, I don't know. They'll have no problem. You'll have no problems getting time and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's just true. Like, that's why it's so easy for me to talk about like cars and stuff like that. It's just because that's what I know. You know, it's what I've always been into, and it's like, I mean, I don't know. To be honest with you, I think that is one of the heaviest things that you guys need to take this podcast into, is literally just inspiring people to get into something. It doesn't matter if it's a creative space or just fucking working, you know, or whatever it may be. Like, I mean, just show them that you can be passionate about something and go this way, or, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I mean, even hell, if you got a restaurant owner in here, fucking do that. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously that took some creativity to do that in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, hone in on that. Like, just highlight people, because that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's like kind of like a Joe Rogan thing. I mean, you know, he just brings on people that he thinks is interesting. Just do it.
Yep.
Just do it. Like, I don't know. You find some hobo on the side of the road, dude. Start talking to him. See what he's about. I don't know. What did he do? He has to have a story somehow. You know. So.
Yeah, and I think everybody's passionate about something
Yeah.
to different degrees, but everybody is passionate about something.
You know, some people don't even know. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? They don't even think about it like that. You know. They're just, like I said, some people are just wired that life is just like a little revolving door. You know, like they just clock in, go sleep, clock in, go sleep. But I don't know, not for us.
Right.
So
I appreciate you being on the Jellyfish Manifesto.
no problem. Like,
Especially with such short notice.
oh, it don't matter. Like I said, my wife signed me up for this, and I was like, cool, because she knows, because she literally, it drives her nuts, because like, she's like, I don't know how you sit there and just listen to people talk. And it's like, because I'll be in the garage, you know, and I'll have like just a podcast on, and I'm like, I don't know, to me, it's information, you know what I'm saying? Like some of them are fun just to listen to, just to hear people like in their stories, but some people I'm like listening to them because they're actually like knowledgeable people, you know. But yeah, I mean, I would be down to, if you ever want to do it like again later on or something like that, you know, when I've progressed somewhere, I guess, I don't know, whatever I'm doing. So
yeah, you've been very interesting to talk to and to listen to.
Trust me, I got like a lot more stuff. Like I said, I mean, I grew up all over the world, so I mean, I can go on. So
Okay, is there anything you wanted to plug or anything before we end it here?
I guess if you want your car worked on, hit me up. Honestly, if you want other things built, hit me up. I'll be fair with you, and if I don't know how to do it, I won't do it. So I don't know. I guess my wife's hot and she's pretty cool, so I like that. She's pretty much the glue that holds my life together, because without her, I'd be running around like a chicken with my head cut off. So, which I do that anyway. So, but yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you guys.
Thank you.